guys, DMO73 here, bringing you another spoiler article coverage. We're finally seeing Yggdrasil, and there's some wind cards, so our wind ruler for the Moonlit Savior. So let's go ahead and just dig right in. This is pretty interesting. So, Yggdrasil, the world tree, is a ruler ethereal tree. It does not have a J ruler side. So first off, notice that it's going to be like Grim. It's only going to have one side, and it only has one ability. If damage dealt by a card your opponent controls would reduce your life to 0 or less for the first time this game, it reduces your life to 100 instead. Then you may search your main deck and or hand for up to one card named Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice and up to one card named Blade of the Seven Lands Excalibur X and put them into your field, then shuffle your main deck. So, what that essentially means is this card has no abilities for the majority of the game until you're about to hit lethal, and then it goes off and you get Alice and Avatar and the Blade. So it's essentially just kind of a save your life button, but it does nothing else other than that. So personally, just looking at it off the bat and what I know of Alice and her Regalia, this definitely feels more like a sideboard kind of card personally, but I know there's going to be some control players out there who go, oh wait, I have a way to instantly save myself, yay! So let's go ahead and dig into the other stuff and you'll kind of make your own judgments there. So Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice, she is a 6-drop Avatar with quick cast and target attack. If damage would be dealt to you, it's dealt to this card instead. So she just becomes a damage sponge for everything that your opponent would, or that you would be taking. In the sense of, if you have a bunch of stuff being attacked, if you're being attacked a bunch, she kind of absorbs all that damage. Then we have the Blade of the Seven Lands Excalibur X. The reason I'm covering these two really quickly is they go really well in hand. So it's a 3-drop Regalia. You player cannot be targeted by spells or abilities your opponent controls. Your J ruler and resonators named Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice you control gain 400/400. Whenever your J ruler or an Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice you control becomes targeted by spells or abilities, cancel that spell unless its unless its controller pays 2. So essentially, this creates a kind of soft lock where your opponent can't target anything and they have to pay extra will in order to be able to target Alice. And your opponent can't deal you any damage and they have to kill Alice first, but they also can't target her unless they, it'll naturally get canceled unless they pay 2. This essentially means that if you're going to play something like a Stoning to Death, it costs you 4 in order to be able to kill her. Back that up with the fact that you probably have a lot of cancel spells in your hand, and you have this kind of like soft luck where you just can't get past her. And that's pretty much how that goes. Then we have Child of the Forest, a Resonator Spirit. As long as your ruler is Yggdrasil the World Tree, this card can block Resonators with flying, and prevent all damage that would be dealt to this card by J rulers. So pretty basic little blocker. It's pretty cool that it'll work to be able to protect you. I think that's pretty sick. Even if you see, especially with the abundance of things like Gwybers and stuff going around, it's nice to see that green is going to have a way to deal with that. Then we have World Tree Protector. It is a 2-drop Avatar as well. When this card's put into a graveyard from your field, search your main deck for an Avatar, reveal it and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your main deck. And this card gains +200/+200 for each Avatar in your graveyard. So this is another way for you to grab Seven Kings Protector, or the Avatar of the Seven Kings Alice from your deck if you want to, and play it early. Plus it becomes stronger and stronger the more avatars you have in the graveyard. So this could potentially become a 2-drop 1k. It's pretty impressive. Forment of the World's Tree. This is actually probably the biggest card for me from this spoiler. It is a 2-drop green spell chant. Put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your main deck in any order, then draw that many cards +1. You gain 800 life. So it's just an instant gain of 800 life, and you get to kind of filter your deck and then draw a card, +1. So that's pretty awesome. It sucks if it's the only card in your hand, but if you have a pretty well-stocked hand, then it's going to be in good shape. And then we have Yggdrasil's Memoria. When you control a J ruler, banish this card. You can tap it to produce green, and you can pay a green and tap it to recover target Resonator during your opponent's turn. So that essentially means that with Alice, you can, if you have that Seven Kings Avatar, Alice, you know, you can block something, pay green, untap her, block something else. You know, you can kind of keep, if you have multiple of these, you can kind of keep repeating it. It's not necessarily going to work with like a hyper ramp strategy because it's a special magic stone, so you can't hit it with like Gretel and stuff like that, but being able to reuse Alice over and over again can be pretty awesome. So there you have it, guys. As I said, I definitely think this is more of a sideboard ruler for control decks. Like if a control player sees a hyper aggro matchup, they can side into Yggdrasil to give themselves some, you know, to buy themselves some time. But that's just me personally. I don't really know if I feel like mainboarding this would just kind of limit your options. I feel like there's a lot of ways that players can get around this mainboarded, but that's just me. So let me know what you guys think in the comment sections down below, and as always, like and subscribe. And until next time, this is DMO73 signing off.